Welcome to our web exclusive. I'm Mike Montecalvo, along with Eyewitness News Analyst Lt. General Reginald Centracchio. We're going to talk about the Ebola scare, General, and security in schools in just a moment. Breaking on Wednesday, there were 3 separate shootings in Canada, one inside Parliament. It is a fluid story right now, but it begs the question in how a gunman can go into Parliament in Canada and cause a shooting.
Mike, I'm convinced that when things like this happen, it just didn't happen per chance. Someone had to be looking at perhaps where the weak points were in that whole protocol. If you go into the Capitol enough times and you go to Parliament, you'll see, well, here's an opportunity. Maybe they're not paying attention here. Maybe I can get through this particular point. And apparently that's how it happened. You can't get through the metal detectors, obviously, if you go through them. There may be some possibility where you don't have to go through them and you go around it some way. So I'm convinced that when things like this happen, it's a matter of studying it and making sure you realize where the weak points are. And that's the case with any security system.
Well, a soldier standing guard at their war memorial was shot kind of brings into focus what would happen here in the United States where, you know, it's 24/7.
Yeah, tomb of the unknown soldier in D.C. There's absolutely no way that I know of that you can possibly have security for that 24 hours a day. If someone is intent on doing harm, they will find a way to do it, and they'll find it when you least expect it. And I think that's exactly what we need to understand as far as what liabilities we have and what vulnerabilities we have in all of our society. 2 million soldier, certainly Parliament, which equates obviously to the Congress. And several years ago, we had the same thing happen in our own Congress, well before 9/11. So you can't get into the Congress as easily now as you could back then.
Right now, Congress is on recess in the United States, but obviously the president is at the White House. What's the protocol for security when something like this happens just over the border in Canada for here at home?
Well, I think what you need to do is to look at the system, make sure that they're following protocol, make sure they're following procedure. When stuff like this happens, it's a matter of saying, okay, are we doing all that we're supposed to be doing, or are we not really paying attention to this particular point or that particular point, and you just kind of ramp it up and obviously refresh those who are in charge and actually executing the plan.
What about at the Rhode Island State House? What kind of plan is in place there?
You know, I talked to the Capitol Police a little while ago, and the plan is in place that you must go through a metal detector. There are 2 points of entrance and obviously 2 points to be able to get out normally. And when that is the case, you must go through a metal detector, you must empty your pockets, and you must go through the same scenario you do going into an airline. The point there is that we don't always have the highest amount of concern and sense of urgency from time to time. When nothing happens, we take a lax, and I'm not suggesting that's happening, but that's normally when something goes wrong, when you don't have the sense of urgency.
All right, John, let's talk about the schools. A couple of weeks ago, a threatening letter was sent to Johnston. It threatened kids in schools in Johnston, Warwick, and Cranston. Apparently on this Wednesday, a similar letter was delivered to Johnston police. What about security protocol at schools? They had a lot of police officers over a 3-5 day period there.
Right. Exactly. And when you look at the Newtown incident in Connecticut, that's really what precipitated what the standard A for school security. Until recently, we had a resource officer, basically the middle school and high schools. We didn't really have that much of a resource available for the elementary schools. Now, since that letter came out, you had more police officers and more visibility of police at the elementary and private and parochial schools. So I think you'll probably see that continue for some time. Where we get the resources is going to be a huge burden.
And malls, same thing. We've got the Christmas shopping season right around the corner.
Well, once again, you know, they have security at the malls for obvious things. When you have a planned event and someone is planning to do harm, you can rest assured they've done some homework to find out where, how, and why they should get in through a particular point.
Gentlemen, only about 30 seconds left with the Ebola outbreak and people coming in from out of the country. Are you satisfied with what's been going on so far?
No, I'm not. They've designated several airports to be the entrance point, but you can circumvent that very easily. You go to one airport, go to another airport, and you come in a different way. If you're coming direct, that's a good system. Otherwise, I think there's a lot of flaws in it.
All right, General Centracchio, as always, thank you for your thoughts, and thanks for watching.